Had it not been for one of my students coming up to me after belly dance class one day, she was one of my regular students, and she approached me as I was getting my things together, and she said with a big smile on her face, "I have something to tell you." And I was like, "What? What is it?" And she said, "Well, since I've been doing belly dance, I don't have leaking anymore. It's gone."
Welcome to Zestful Aging, where I speak with influencers from all over the world who are contributing to the common good in all kinds of interesting ways. Contributing to the common good, even in the smallest of ways, is one of the scientifically proven ways we can age with vitality and deep contentment. I'm your host, Nicole Christina, psychotherapist and fellow Zestful Ager. My goal is to share optimism about aging and introduce you to guests who will inspire you to live with zest. To find out more about my podcast, my web courses, and my book, Not Just Chatting, How to Become a Master Podcast Interviewer, hop on over to zestfulaging.com. And while you're there, sign up for my weekly email newsletter, The Insider, where you will get behind-the-scenes looks at upcoming episodes and other fun tidbits. And if you love the podcast, I'd be grateful if you shared it with your friends. Our music is courtesy of Judy Banker. Find out more about her at judybanker.com. Ever wonder what the host of Zestful Aging does when she's not podcasting? Creating one-of-a-kind earrings, of course. I've just opened an Etsy shop called Zestful Design, no S, and it showcases my fun, comfortable, and zesty polymer earrings. These earrings are fun to make and fun to wear. So check out my new shop, Zestful Design, on Etsy. We have a wonderful interview for you today. The importance of pelvic floor strength was really brought home to me recently when I was watching the brand new Jim Gaffigan special. And let's just say my eyes weren't the only thing that were wet. Have you noticed that when you sneeze or laugh, you might have a little pee release? I've even noticed this while playing tennis after hitting a hard shot. And today's guest is going to introduce us to a whole new way to strengthen our pelvic floor, and I'm sure it will surprise and delight you. Jennifer Sobel is the creator of the Belly Dance Solution, a unique program that helps women strengthen their pelvic floor with belly dance, and Feminine Fire, a comprehensive program to learn belly dancing online. She takes a holistic approach to teaching belly dance that integrates her experience as an acupuncturist and a personal trainer to create programs that help women heal in body, mind, and spirit. Welcome to the show, Jennifer.
Thank you so much, Nicole. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
We're going to have so much fun.
Yes,
Are you
we
kidding? So we spoke a little bit earlier, and you told me that you discovered that belly dancing helps urinary leaking. You discovered that by accident. Is that correct?
Yes, I will call this a very happy accident.
Hashtag happy accident.
Yes. And yes, I hope that this becomes a happy accident for everybody listening to this podcast. So yes, I would have never made the connection between belly dancing and urinary leaking had it not been for one of my students coming up to me after belly dance class one day. She was one of my regular students, and she approached me as I was getting my things together, and she said with a big smile on her face, "I have something to tell you." And I was like, "What? What is it?" And she said, "Well, since I've been doing belly dance, I don't have leaking anymore. It's gone."
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And I
like
was
a 2 for
wow.
1.
I know. And I mean, clearly she was as surprised as I was, because, nobody connects those two things together. And so that was, it was gone for her. And I was like, wow, that's super cool. I honestly didn't really think about it until about 4 years later when I was thinking about creating a belly dance program. And I was at the gym and I saw a commercial for a drug for bladder leaking, and I connected the two events. And I was like, I wonder if there's something to this. I wonder if I should create a program for this. And I did my research, and I was shocked to discover how many women around the world have this problem. And I think it could possibly be the biggest, most prevalent problem that women have that no one talks about.
Isn't that interesting? Like now we're starting to talk about menopause and all of this stuff, but who wants to say like, oh, I think I peed a little in my pants? I mean, that's just not... Oh my goodness. So explain, if you would, for me, a layperson, how do you imagine this is helping urinary leakage?
Yeah. So, after I saw that commercial and I thought about creating this program, I did a lot of research. And then I thought about, I had been a professional belly dancer and teacher for 16 years. And then I started to analyze the movements, and I thought, every pretty much all the belly dance movements, but there are some key ones that particularly strengthen the pelvic floor. You have to engage your pelvic floor to even do the movements at all. And so then it started to make sense to me. And then I realized, oh yeah, I mean, it also makes sense because a lot of people believe, and of course the history of belly dance is controversial, but nobody really knows for sure. But a lot of people believe that belly dance actually originated as a dance to prepare and help women recover from childbirth. Because of its ability to strengthen the pelvic floor. So once I started piecing everything together, I was like, this makes perfect sense.
Wow, that is really a lovely just is synchronicity that it just has really come together. All this stuff really makes sense. And I know how much you have a passion for belly dance, and then to learn that it's so helpful in these ways that, we're suffering and don't necessarily want to talk about it. Now, you started as somebody in a more, traditional field as a personal trainer and acupuncturist. How did you discover belly dancing?
Well, actually, let's say the seed was awakened in me when I was like maybe 10 years old. My dad took us to a Moroccan restaurant in Las Vegas, where I'm from. And I remember the belly dancer coming out and just being absolutely mesmerized and in awe. And she came to our table afterwards, after her performance and after she changed. And she must have just seen something in my face, because she took off her necklace and she gave it to me. And I still have it to this day. And I feel like someday I was like, I'm going to learn how to do that. And I feel like this has been my purpose, not just because I love belly dancing and it's my greatest passion, but because I get to help women in their health, which to me, healing has been the through line in my entire life. And I think that belly dance is so much more than just a dance. It really is a pathway to healing. And so I'm honored to be a part of that and bringing that to women.
So I'm just imagining the first class, and I'll just take myself, who I do a lot of walking, play a lot of tennis. The idea that I would start belly dancing would be a little intimidating to me, even though I throw myself around on the court in funny positions and miss balls, and that's embarrassing. But how do you get people to overcome some of their self-consciousness? Because I think we know women post-menopause are feeling a bit self-conscious, and we can go out on a whole tangent about that, but they feel like their belly is not, they don't want to draw attention to their belly.
Right. Well, it's very common what you're talking about. I think all women experience this feeling of self-consciousness to some extent. All. But I think that that's a part of the path and the practice, and what makes belly dance so healing is you have to really overcome these negative self-limiting beliefs that you have about yourself. And that's part of what empowers you and helps you to feel more confident about your body. Because really it's not the highest form of healing and empowerment is how you feel about your own body, not what other people think about it. And so I am always telling my students, just focus on yourself, focus inward. It's an inside out kind of thing.
Aha.
And it's really for you. I mean, I think that people have this idea of belly dance as it's like a spectator thing, right?
Okay.
But for me, it's not that. And I really turn away from that because it's really about you as a spectator and the subject of yourself, not an object to somebody else.
Oh, that's so fascinating to somebody who, does a lot of work with folks with eating and food issues, that this is about your own awareness of what perhaps what your body can do.
Exactly. And it brings you into your body in the most grounding way so that you can experience your own presence and your own power. And it's for you. It's only for you. And
it's
then,
like a meditation.
It is. And then you bring that power out into the world. And when you have greater love, self-love, and self-acceptance, everything around you will change. But not because you're trying to change it, but because you're changing yourself.
Oh my goodness. Boy, is this floating my boat,
Me too.
Oh, my
this is what I love about it. Yeah.
And it just seems, you said this idea of self-love, and it's so healing. And I believe, and I think many believe that joy is healing.
Totally. Absolutely.
And how can you not be joyful when you're doing these movements to music?
Exactly. And to music that you love. I always say you don't need to just dance to Middle Eastern music. I belly dance to all kinds of music. The only thing that is going to rob you of your joy in belly dance or in anything is your own self-critical thoughts. And I talk about it as a practice. When you start going into that mode where you're not enjoying yourself because, I'm not doing it right, and this person does it better or whatever, you have to have the awareness to stop and say, it's not about that. It's about me enjoying moving in a new way, experiencing my body in a new way, getting out of my head and into my body, tapping into my inner femininity and my sensuality for myself.
Oh my goodness. I really am so delighted to hear the different aspects that this can bring, that it's really just another practice.
It is. And I think it's one of the most healing practices for women in particular because it's such a distinctly feminine dance. And I feel like it particularly feels good inside the female body.
If you like this podcast, you'll love my companion courses, Zestful Aging, Simple and Sustainable Habits for Health and Longevity, and The Wisdom of Mindful Eating. Now, for 1 month only, I'm putting both of my online courses on a radical sale. Both The Wisdom of Mindful Eating and Zestful Aging will be $19.99 each. Both of these courses have received rave reviews. They're fun, straightforward, and have the ability to change your life in the direction of more peace and less stress about eating and around aging. No extreme diets or punishing exercise. More about creating habits that feel good and are sustainable, which is health promoting and leads to a longer, happier life. This offer will expire January 31st. So find out more at zestfulaging.com. You'll see more about this under the web courses tab. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email at zestfulaging@gmail.com. Thanks so much. Now back to the show. What's it like? You're talking about how it feels. Does it feel different to do this with a group of women than just alone practicing in your living room?
Yeah, I think there's different components of it. I mean, I think there's a value in each way that you practice it. Practicing it by yourself feels one way. Practicing it by yourself in front of a mirror feels a different way. Practicing it in a group feels a different way. And they all have value. I think and even in an online environment, because my program is online, I have a community. I have a private Facebook group for my Feminine Fire program. And the women feel connected with each other, even if they're not dancing with each other. They feel they feel that sense of community and sisterhood with other women. But, if you do that in person, you get that same vibe. And I think that the right environment should really be one of mutual support and holding each other up, instead of what can tend to happen with women is where we get into competition with one another, which then just furthers these critical thoughts. Instead of we can all hold each other up. And that's where we're going to be strongest.
Reminds me, and now I have not belly danced, so I'm just saying this in my imagination, but it sort of reminds me of what a drum circle could feel like.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels very similar. And I think because, I've maybe had one or two men in a class, in one of the studios that I taught in, but it's pretty much only women. And I think that there is a certain vibe that's created when it's only women there, and you create this sort of, sacred bond. You get into that kind of trance if you're in a drum circle and you get that sense of community. But I think there's something really special and unique around, just being in that sisterhood goddess circle.
I'm thinking about the title of your course, The Feminine Fire. And I'm also thinking about women who are taking these courses that may feel less feminine because they're post-menopause, because their bodies are changing. They may not feel as attractive or seen or all of these things. How does Feminine Fire kind of address some of those challenges as we age?
Yeah, and I get it too. I feel it myself. I'm going to be turning 49 in next month. And so I get this whole idea once you get into this age of where you start to, really struggle with this idea of once you get to a certain age, you're not seen or validated in the same way anymore. But these are all cultural, societal things. These are the messages that our society and our culture and the media give to us. But our feminine energy and our power and our attractiveness, we can cultivate that no matter what. And that's ours. That's our birthright. So nothing is going to change that unless we buy into it.
So you're looking at challenging some of the cultural messages that come to us that because you have wrinkles or gray hair or cellulite or whatever, you're not a woman. You're not womanly.
Yeah. And being sexy is really an inside job. And that's true at any age. You look at a woman, let's say in her 20s, if she is trying to be sexy, there's nothing sexy about that. So it doesn't matter what age you are. Being sexy or feeling sexy is an inside job. And nobody can take that from you. But I think that we need to challenge okay, society isn't validating me anymore, isn't seeing me, but can I validate myself now? I think that is the challenge of this period of time in our lives, is the self-validation is what we're challenged to do, and recognize my power isn't diminished because I'm not being validated or seen in this particular way.
I see. Can you tell any stories of students you've had that this has really had a transformation? I'm listening to, and I think this could be transformative in so many ways. Do you have any stories that come to mind of women who have been in your classes who have maybe started out a little bit shy and then have really blossomed? Yeah,
definitely. And I really encourage women to push past their comfort zone in terms of what they share, and allowing them to be seen by other women in a supportive environment. But, I think there's, on the one hand, there's the health aspect. When when women are able to resolve their leaking, first and foremost, they're going to feel better about themselves and how attractive they are, and they're going to feel more free in their life. So that is one of a big transformative area. But then I see so many women in my community, students of mine, that it doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, I have women in my program that are in their 70s. And they tell me, like, when they're belly dancing, they feel so sexy. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. And to me, this is like personally the evidence of a soul, is that it doesn't matter how old your body is. On the inside, you still feel ageless. And so it doesn't matter how old someone is, in their 60s, 70s, whatever, they feel sexy when they're belly dancing. And it increases their confidence. Their partners, if their partner loves what they're doing, and that makes them feel good. And it just helps them to get out of their shell. And when I say shell, I think that shell is really the stories that we tell ourselves about who we are and what we're capable of.
Can you tell, as people move through your class, that even when they're not belly dancing, they may hold themselves differently?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the biggest things is once you get a greater awareness of your body, and also the movements help you to have a better posture. When you hold yourself physically different in the world, it'll make you feel different.
Yes, and there's research that absolutely supports that.
Yeah, so sometimes, just by changing the physical, you change how you feel. And so there's that aspect to it. And the more you feel in control of your body, the more powerful you feel.
Does it help you also prepare for other kinds of physical activities?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I'm always just so pleased when people email me and tell me that since they've been belly dancing, their joints don't hurt as much. They are able to sleep better because their arthritis isn't as painful. So I think that because belly dance is such a gentle movement on the body, it's non-impact. So it helps you to it's unique in that it helps you to both strengthen and relax your muscles. So it helps you to get stronger, but it also helps you with mobility, and especially in the hips, which is an area where we all tend to be really tight because we're sitting a lot.
Keeping those is it called hip flexors?
It's your entire pelvic, all the muscles that are attached to your pelvis and your low back. So
I could see,
it helps you to be just more mobile, more flexible, more fluid.
Well, I was just talking with someone this morning, and we were kind of chuckling about how everyone seems to say they have plantar fasciitis, and come to find out that many of us have maybe lower back tightness that is, tightening the whole system, going down the entire leg. And I can imagine, your lower back feeling more mobile, more pliable would really also help heel and foot pain.
Absolutely. And plus, they're like, that old thing, the knee bone's connected to the...
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, they call it the kinetic chain. Everything is connected to one another. But one of the main benefits of belly dance is the core strengthening. I mean, one of the biggest issues people have all over the world really is back pain. And a big cause of back pain is a weak core. And so belly dance will organically strengthen your core, and you don't need to do any planks or sit-ups or crunches or whatever because the movements are organically going to make you strengthen your core.
And who doesn't want to have fun while they're exercising?
Exactly.
I don't know. Like this sort of people, my clients will say, oh, I'm doing this like warrior. Right. Or I'm like, good for you.
Right.
I'm walking in nature with my puppies. That's what I'm doing.
Right.
The idea that I'm going to do some kind of, it all sounds so brutal. Who needs that?
Well, yeah, and that's another message that we've got through the media is that somehow exercise is a punishment. and it's pain should be painful. You know, no pain, no gain, or whatever. And that's keeping people from exercising. Like, exercise is really just movement. And do whatever movement you enjoy and is fun and inherently fun.
Because you'll do it again. That's basic human nature.
Exactly.
Oh, and it's a wonderful, you know, for the new year, I think that's such a wonderful message that going to the gym and like grinding it out is not sustainable.
Unless you enjoy going to the gym and grinding it out. You know?
Yeah,
but
and
if
some
that's
do.
Not, I'm one of those people, but not for, I would say that is definitely the exception. And if you don't fully enjoy going to the gym, find something you fully enjoy doing. That's what life is about.
Yep. I love that this has so many facets to it, so many benefits, and it's not just about getting my muscle, you know, toned up. This sounds like it's you talk about it as a pathway to health, and it sounds like it's also a pathway to awareness and feeling comfortable as a mature woman, and that there's just so much to this.
It is. I really think that, you know, the highest form of belly dance is just as this pathway to healing on many different levels.
Wow. I did not know we were going to have this kind of conversation, Jennifer. I mean, I really, you know, I think it's so important. And I really was unaware of what belly dance offered. I mean, I know that there are women who love to do it. I know it's good exercise, but I never thought about it in terms of, you know, sort of, as you say, it's an inside job, really becoming more aware of yourself, your movement, your sensuality, you know, who you are as a woman. It's a wow.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share that, because I think there's so many misconceptions about belly dance. And part of what I want to spread the message about is this higher form of belly dance.
Yes, absolutely. Let's talk about where our listeners can find you.
Yes, thank you so much. So the Belly Dance Solution is the program for strengthening the pelvic floor through belly dance, and they can go to www.thebellydancesolution.com. And then I have a comprehensive Learn Belly Dance program that'll get you learning belly dance super fast and easy. And that is www.femininefireofficial.com.
Oh, I love that name too. That's beautiful. And if people have questions, can they find you through these websites?
Yeah, they can either go to my Facebook page, either Feminine Fire Official or The Belly Dance Solution, or they can email me at jennifer@thebellydancesolution.com. So
what is your Facebook tag? It's feminine?
They can either go to Feminine Fire or The Belly Dance Solution.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I want, and are you on Instagram and all of those things?
Yep.
IG and all of that?
Yep.
Great. And do you have any YouTubes that people can watch?
Yeah, I just started a YouTube channel about 4 months ago. It's Feminine Fire. And I have a lot of cool videos on there. And like one video I did that was really popular was a chair belly dance video.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of people, for whatever reason, maybe they're just sitting in a chair, they're at the office, or they're, you know, in a car, but doing it safely, or maybe they have an injury. And this allows people to get in their belly dance practice while seated.
Brilliant. You know, it reminds me, I love my rebounder. And one of the reasons, I mean, it's got a lot of stuff that's fun, but you know, it's hard to be cranky when you're jumping to music and like you're kind of having your own personal party.
Exactly.
Almost always finish, even if it's just 15 minutes.
Exactly.
Like, you know, that was fun. I can't deny it.
I know. And I tell people even 5 minutes of belly dancing will completely change your mood and your vibe. It only takes 5 minutes.
Boy, do we need that now.
We do.
Oh, thanks so much, Jennifer. I feel like I've learned a ton, and I hope other women I can't imagine they wouldn't be super excited about checking this out. Jennifer Sobel, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us on Zestful Aging. If you like the podcast, please share it with some of your friends. I love to hear from my listeners. Send me an email at NicoleChristina.com. It's no secret that everyone's feeling pretty restless and unsettled right now. Our lives are upside down and the future is feeling pretty uncertain. But if you're anything like me, organizing my stuff can help me feel a little calmer. It's something I can do to help me feel a little more in control and in charge of my own life. If you think decluttering could help you feel better and you could use a little assistance with that, check out the online course I've developed with professional organizer and designer Carrie Luderin. It's called Too Much Stuff. And Too Much Stuff is different from other courses or articles or guidance you may have used up. We give you clear steps to deal with the clutter and the tools to help you face the overwhelming feelings and the emotions that come up when we're going through our clutter. And a lot of those emotions are just feeling anxious or guilty or just basically flooded with a lot of different confusing feelings. The course is really practical. It's realistic. The lessons are short and punchy, and they're really manageable. We're not trying to set you up for some long exploratory, super in-depth, burdensome experience. We want something really helpful for you right now. We all need help with our anxiety. So being surrounded by more calm and less chaos can really help. So now's a good time to clear out the clutter so we can focus on what's really important in our lives. So find out more at zestfulaging.com. You'll see more about this under the web courses tab. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email at zestfulaging@gmail.com. Thanks so much. And stay tuned next week for another interview with a fascinating and inspiring guest.